What's going on, people? Welcome to GFX Kapture, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create a highlighter effect, or you may have seen that in one of the Vox videos where we highlight a part of the text in a newspaper, in a book, etc, etc. So without further ado, let's give it a go. So starting in After Effects, the first thing I'm going to do is to download an image from a book or from a news article and basically drag it down here so that I can create my sequence. Next, what I'm going to do is to create a solid and call it anything. I'm just going to call it highlighter and choose a color which you want to use as your highlighter color. Most of the time it will be yellow, but some people can also use green or pink as you normally would get in one of your highlighters. So click OK and then click OK. Next, what you want to do is to go to Effect and go to Generate and click on Stroke. Next, switch off the visibility of the highlighter layer. Okay, and the next is we want to create a mask with the help of the pen tool. So select the pen tool at the top and start making a path on the text that you want to highlight. So for example, I want to highlight from here, and I go here, and you can make it up and down just to make it more realistic and more real. Next, what I want to do is to choose the color. So at the moment it's on white, but what I will do is to change it to the yellow that we selected earlier on. Use the eyedropper tool and select the yellow. There you go. Next, what you want to do is to enable the visibility of the highlighter layer and go to the path and put it to mask 1 or whatever you've called it. Okay, so we'll do that, and then also in the paint style change it to on transparent. Okay, next thing you want to do is to change the brush size so that the brush or the highlighter in our case looks a bit better and actually more bigger and covers the text that you're trying to highlight. Okay, now of course you can actually move these points as well on the mask, on the path if you need to. There you go. And that will give you a more realistic, more real look. Okay, so what about if I want to highlight another row in this text as well, or in this picture? What I will do is to go to the pen tool, to turn the visibility off, and then start highlighting the text that you want to highlight. Okay, there you go. Now, after you've completed the second path or the mask, what you need to do is to tick the all masks option and also select stroke sequentially. What that will do is that if you want the second row to start after you finish the first row, highlighting the first row, then obviously that will start later. You don't want both of them to start at the same time. Okay, so now we want to animate it as well, and for that what we'll do is that we'll start create a keyframe on the end and bring it to 0 first of all, and go maybe about 1 second or so, or a couple of frames depending on your animation. And in here what we'll do is that we'll make it to 100 for example. Now obviously this is over the text, okay, so you can't actually see the text behind it. For that, what we'll need to do is to if you go to the toggle switches here or modes, then you can change the options here, and for that you click on the drop down and you select multiply. There you go. Okay, and then you can change the opacity, you can change the brush hardness, etc, etc. Okay, so I think that should be good. So now when we play it, that's how it's going to turn out. Okay, so very nice, looks very professional, and it gives you that real look of highlighting. So this is all for the basic highlighting. Now what I also want to do is to make a camera effect or a bit of a movement here as well, so that it looks a bit more natural, and what you've also seen in other videos like the Vox video and other animation as well. So for that, what I want to do is to go back to my project and create a new composition, and I'll just do it main comp with camera or whatever you want to call it, and I'll just take it as 1920 by 1080. Now what I want to do is to drag the newspaper or the article composition in here, and also I will add a camera as well. 35mm is fine, or you can do it 50 depending on your composition, but I think 35 is fine for me. Click OK. Now you also need to make it 3D so that we can rotate it. For that you just click on the 3D box here. Okay, and what you can do now is to simply rotate. You can also move it as well. Sorry, with the position I'm gonna just move this one here. And I'm also just gonna push it up a bit. Okay, so that's how my animation is gonna look like. Now if I play it, basically it is highlighting, but it is static. So I want to move the camera now. And so what you want to do is go to the camera options and switch on the depth of field, and I want to enable the focus distance and also the aperture as well. So because that's the two values that I want to animate, so that I can focus on the text that I'm highlighting and slightly blur out the other areas around it. So what we can do is we can just play around with the values here. Okay, so that's how your animation would look like then. Just changing the focus there. So once you've changed your values, your point of interest, and also the position as well, put a keyframe on these two as well, because that's how we move the camera. Change the camera position as well in terms of the focus distance and aperture for zooming in, focusing, and blurring out the rest of the text, for example. So it gives you a nice look and feel and a bit more professional look of your composition. So this is pretty much it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.